Here it is again, slowed down. As Beyonce sits down with Molly Meldrum, her dress folds.
The Jay-Z victims are going to be worse. They're worse because of the psychological torture that comes along with what he does.
New evidence has been revealed in court that could flip the Carter household's dynamics on its head after allegations have surfaced that Blue Ivy may actually not be Beyonce's daughter at all. Instead, her mother could be someone Jay-Z had an affair with and later eliminated.
Why did God give me this life? Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Here it is again, slowed down. As Beyonce sits down with Molly Meldrum, her dress folds. That crease caused a worldwide controversy.
After an interview with Beyonce last Sunday, the world went wild with speculation about whether she was faking her pregnancy, especially when her baby bump started sparking questions. Some even wondered if Beyonce's baby bump was fake.
But ever since her recent interview on Sunday Night HD, there's been a whole new wave of people saying what must have been a fake baby bump visually collapsed as she sat down. I admit, that did look weird, but maybe it was a weird camera angle. Or maybe she wears extra padding to keep her due date a secret.
Because of the way that Beyonce's belly folded when she sat down, many believed that there was no way that that was a real baby bump. There was so much speculation about this situation that even Wendy Williams did an experiment with her audience to see if other pregnant women's bellies folded like that when they sat down.
Beyonce recently, like last Sunday, appeared on an Australian show. And when she sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled.
The reason that I bring this up though is because if Beyonce and Jay-Z were having a baby via a surrogate, it would be a little odd to announce that they were physically with child, unless the House of Carter was trying to cause a massive media PR frenzy to take all of the media attention away from the woman who was just recently alleged in the press to be Jay-Z's mistress, mysteriously passing away. Well, obviously that is just speculation and maybe a little bit of conspiracy, but if it was their intention to take the media attention off of anyone potentially running a story about Jay-Z's mistress passing away, it most certainly worked, because the media and the press were completely zeroed in on Beyonce and Jay-Z's pregnancy from the moment it was announced to the moment that Blue Ivy made her arrival. And at least I know, I personally never even heard about Cathy White until this whole P. Diddy stuff started flipping everything on its head. Go to part 3.
In fact, many have started going through her lyrics and found something absolutely telling: a jab aimed at Jay-Z. But this story gets darker. There were rumors swirling that a pregnant woman was murdered. People were left asking, if someone had killed her, why wasn't there any mention of what happened to her baby? The whole situation became the kind of scandal that just refuses to stay buried. This leads us to Cathy White, a name that keeps coming up.
Beyonce couldn't get pregnant. Not naturally, not normally. What I do know is this. When Beyonce got on that stage with that fake baby bump,
oh yeah,
it was lined up with the same timing of where Cathy White would have been in her second trimester. And when we all watched her get on TV with that fake pregnancy belly that folded over,
yep,
she sat down, the timeline of when she delivered Blue Ivy lines up almost perfect with the timeline of when Cathy White would have delivered.
wow.
We all know that Blue Ivy came from a surrogate.
Yep.
They shut that hospital down like a president had just been. And parents who had just had children themselves weren't even allowed to see their own kids for 24 hours.
They bounced my family off the 6th floor and from the waiting room and made them go downstairs and get her.
There's a lot of us that are coming together to deal with this issue. This is not by any means just us.
Because of the security that was locking that whole thing down.
$1.3 million is alleged that Beyonce and Jay-Z, the Carters, paid this hospital to have the right to have their baby there in complete secrecy and privacy.
Okay, so the surrogate was carried out and no one heard her speak a word.
The question everyone's asking is, could Blue Ivy actually be the secret child of Cathy White and Jay-Z? And if that's true, how far would Jay-Z and Beyonce go to protect their billion-dollar empire? The answer is very.
Do you think the Carters will speak about any of this at all? Do you just feel that they'll make any statement about what's going on?
Beyonce is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say something?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals. Diddy is a dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there.
The story starts back in the late 2000s, when whispers began about Jay-Z allegedly cheating on Beyonce with Cathy White. Cathy wasn't just some random person. She was a PR consultant with ties to Hollywood and the hip-hop world. The big break in this gossip came in 2010, when Cathy was spotted partying with Jay-Z and Diddy at Town nightclub in Las Vegas. Notably, Beyonce wasn't there. Cathy, born in Louisiana and raised in Virginia, had a lot going for her. She graduated from Howard University, one of the top HBCUs in the country, and she was on the rise in the entertainment industry. She rubbed shoulders with big names, and it seemed like she was on her way to great things. Now, in May 2009, the weekend of the Manny Pacquiao versus Ricky Hatton fight in Las Vegas, the city was buzzing with celebrities, and among the A-listers at the after-parties were Jay-Z and Diddy. Guess who else was there? Yep, Cathy White, along with her friends Claudia Jordan and Nikki Chu.
The article that was published in 2010 included details of a wild night out in Las Vegas with Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Cathy White, and a model named Claudia Jordan. Their evening was said to be filled with gambling, clubbing, drinking, and a lot of PDA. We know Beyonce and Jay-Z had been married since 2008, but Beyonce was nowhere to be seen at this evening out. Once this article, along with damning photographs, were released, an editor over at Star Magazine reached out to Cathy White to try to get her side of the story. This former editor over at Star Magazine's name is Liz Crocken. Liz was writing an article looking into some of the controversy surrounding Jay-Z, his history of cheating and shady behaviors, and she was building a timeline, and she really wanted to hear what Cathy had to say about their alleged relationship. And Liz reached out to Cathy White to hear her side of the story. Cathy White denied even knowing Jay-Z. Once Liz was able to produce photographic evidence, Cathy agreed to consider coming forward and sharing her side of the story. A few days after this initial conversation, Liz had not heard anything back from Cathy White, allegedly. This prompted her to give Cathy White's PR firm a call. Liz was able to reach one of Cathy's employees at her PR firm, and this employee allegedly shared that Cathy White had passed away suddenly and unexpectedly.
About 2 weeks before Cathy's sudden death, she was reportedly contacted by a tabloid looking into her alleged affair with Jay-Z. The story goes that Cathy hinted she was ready to spill the beans for the right price. But before she could go public, Beyonce made a big announcement. She was pregnant with Blue Ivy. Her pregnancy announcement at the VMAs was a joyful moment, or was it? Just 48 hours later, Cathy White was dead.
When this editor from Star Magazine found out that Cathy White had suddenly passed away, she was completely shocked and immediately wondered if this was not a coincidence. Sources close to Cathy were able to divulge that Cathy had gone to Jay-Z to let him know that she was considering coming forward and sharing her side of the story and her truth of what has been going on between the two of them. Within days of Jay-Z allegedly learning that his alleged mistress was going to come forward and expose their ongoing affair, on August 28th of 2011, Beyonce and Jay-Z announced that they were pregnant with their first child. And they announced this at the VMAs. On September 1st of 2011, just days after Jay-Z and Beyonce had announced that they were pregnant, Cathy White would no longer be alive. There are conflicting reports on the state in which Cathy White was found on that very tragic day. Some sources say she was found unresponsive in her New York apartment, while other sources say that there was a 911 call that came from Cathy's apartment. And when paramedics arrived, they took Cathy White to the hospital because she was extremely ill and then was later pronounced unalive in the hospital. Cathy White's autopsy and toxicology were never released to the public, but ultimately the manner in which Cathy passed was ruled to have been caused by a brain aneurysm. It was also heavily speculated that Cathy White was pregnant with Jay-Z's child at the time of her passing, but with the autopsy never being released, it's not possible for us to confirm that information. If this woman was pregnant, that just makes everything that much more tragic, but I just was not able to find definitive proof or confirmation of this detail, so I will just leave it at that. With Cathy being such a young and healthy woman, it is very shocking to hear that this was the way that she passed. This editor at Star Magazine, Liz, continued to dig into this situation despite the fact that Cathy had passed away and despite the fact that her boss urged her not to continue looking into the situation. While doing her research, Liz allegedly discovered that Jay-Z, the self-proclaimed king of New York, has many NYPD officials in his back pocket. Liz also allegedly discovered that there was a decent amount of coroners in New York City who were willing to rule a very obvious suspicious passing or unaliving as a natural passing for the right amount of cash.
The official cause was listed as a brain aneurysm, but the NYPD initially classified her death as uncertain and raised suspicions about potential foul play. Toxicology reports were ordered, and there was even speculation from a detective that Cathy might have been given something toxic before she died.
Another interesting aspect of this entire situation was Cathy White's friendship with Jason Lee. You all probably know Jason Lee from his very successful podcast where he interviews celebrities and social media stars. Jason Lee is also the founder of the publication Hollywood Unlocked. Jason Lee has long accused Beyonce of knowing exactly what happened to Cathy White.
Does this mean Jason knows the real truth about Cathy White?
Can you imagine had I put that on Hollywood Unlocked? Oh, there's one more thing. Beat this, Johnny. So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me a, you know what I mean? Like there should be a little love there. Now,
maybe she doesn't know.
She knows. Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce, they're not going to share that with her.
That knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts.
Wright is also another figure who is known to be very loud and outspoken about the horrors of the rap industry, has also alluded that Beyonce and Jay-Z are guilty of very sinister things.
Nobody getting no about Beyonce. She's doing far worse things than bleaching her skin. I promise you that. That is getting divorced because she don't want to be called as a material witness or be named as an accomplice, but it looks like it's too late.
Jaguar Wright alluded to the fact that Beyonce and Jay-Z will do about anything to make sure their image and brand is protected.
Cathy White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? I mean, I'm just speculating.
And more recently, as we know, Beyonce just released her brand new album, and on that album is a track called Daughter. While it is a beautiful song, many are saying that the beginning of this song sounds an awful lot like a confession.
What makes this even more suspicious is the theory that Beyonce's pregnancy announcement was rushed to overshadow the scandal. Think about it. If Cathy was about to reveal an affair with Jay-Z, and possibly even claim she was pregnant with his child, the Carters had every reason to get ahead of that story.
When put into perspective of the reignition of this controversy and the mysterious passing of Cathy White, it makes you pause a little bit when you listen to the lyrics. At the end of the day, there is a lot of speculation and rumors surrounding the situation, and it is really hard to decipher between what is fact and conspiracy sometimes. We know that Jay-Z has a very close relationship with P. Diddy, who has a reputation for taking out anyone who gets in his way, who is a liability, or who he is jealous of. So I guess I wouldn't really say that it's a stretch to think or question whether Jay-Z could have potentially had a hand in Cathy White's passing, especially with the reputation that one of his best friends, Diddy, has. So that is the gist of the Cathy White situation and some of the rumors and speculations surrounding the Cathy White situation. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a tragedy. A young woman lost her life way too early. And it is very concerning that this woman had a connection to Jay-Z and was ready to go public about their relationship. And mysteriously, she passes away before she has the opportunity.
Cathy ends up dead. And the thing is, this is not the first time Jay-Z has tried to eliminate an affair.
Another crazy instance that I think about is Jay-Z and Blue Cantrell, and Diddy was obviously in this photo as well, but he is cut out, but he's right there next to Kim Porter. Now, it was rumored that Jay-Z and Blue Cantrell had an affair going on while he was dating Beyonce. Blue Cantrell actually did an interview with Wendy Williams where she talked about sleeping with Jay-Z, and then shortly after that interview released, Blue Cantrell was hospitalized after ranting that she was poisoned on the streets. Blue Cantrell went running through the streets ranting about people trying to unalive her until police took her into custody for a physical evaluation. Blue Cantrell was running around the streets screaming that somebody was trying to unalive her by giving her poisonous gas.
Jay-Z. Oh my God! I heard he's hung like a horse blue. Oh my God! Beyonce. She really have him locked down. I think so. I think they're in love. I think they're in love. Politics speaking. No, I really do think they're in love. I have a big crush on him, though. I'll tell you that much. I still have a crush on him now. No, I didn't. No, I'm really selective about it. What? Really. I really like him, though. And I don't care who he's dating. I always had a crush on him, though. If he came in right now and we were all not here. What? I'm just saying. You're in New York. Yeah, okay. And what? If you ran into him and everything was right, would you make that play? I wouldn't turn it down. Let's just put it that way.
Other mistress that has a love child with Jay-Z, allegedly. I didn't work on that story, but the reporters that did reported that, she was paid very well to basically shut up and not say anything bad about them and not acknowledge that she had an affair or this is Jay-Z's kid or whatever.
Because it would devalue Beyonce.
Well, that's what I'm about to get to, is that back then it's like, he has all these mistresses, but like, why would he murder Cathy? I mean, he has a bunch, right? You can't murder all your mistresses. And like, what would be the incentive? When I first started just calling her, telling her I wanted to interview her, what I didn't realize at the time is that Beyonce was pregnant. The news had not broken yet.
We can't have a mistress and Beyonce.
So, and I also didn't realize that they were crafting one of the biggest publicity stunts to announce Beyonce's pregnancy on stage at the VMAs. When she did her performance at the very end, she turned, oh, look, oh my God, she's a baby bump, she's pregnant. Like, no, I didn't even know. And I was like working in the business. I did not know she was pregnant. That's a big deal for a celebrity because that's going to get you like great press for the next like 2 years, right? Oh, like, you know, like getting ready for baby. And, you know, we did tons
but a
of baby
mistress
covers.
coming out.
So
that's possibly pregnant.
So that's the thing.
Talk about it, Liz.
So that's the thing. But there are reports that she was found after the VMA performance. But I'm pretty sure that I knew she was dead before Beyonce announced that she was pregnant. Now it was 15 years ago. I could have that wrong, but I do remember thinking, why would there be a major motive to murder this mistress? Yes, if she's gonna give me an exclusive on the record, that's a huge problem.
Theories swirl even more as Liz claims Jay-Z will eventually be exposed. In one tweet, she suggested that it's only a matter of time before spirit cooking Jay-Z is revealed, and she implied that there's a lot more beneath the surface. Liz didn't stop at Jay-Z either. She dragged Diddy into the mix, claiming that shady stuff went down surrounding his ex, Kim Porter's mysterious death.
Kim Porter was working on a book before she died, and Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma?
Others, like Jaguar Wright, have also suggested that Diddy and Jay-Z are both hiding secrets. Jay-Z in particular is under threat of a big secret being his undoing.
And a federal judge has ruled the woman alleging she was raped by Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs can remain anonymous. The woman says both men raped her at a party when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z's legal team had fought to get the case dismissed, arguing his accuser should have to reveal her name, but the judge disagreed. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
A legal victory for the woman who is suing Jay-Z for allegedly raping her when she was 13. A federal judge ruling the woman can proceed with the case while remaining anonymous, at least for now. But the judge also chastising the lawyers representing Jay-Z, accusing them of trying to fast-track the judicial process by repeatedly filing motions to reveal the identity of the Jane Doe to have the case dismissed. The judge writing in a 5-page brief that the Carters' lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the counsel demands it. This latest legal twist coming after the recently filed civil lawsuit by Jane Doe, claiming that Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and P. Diddy, drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party after the MTV Music Awards in 2000, while an unnamed celebrity watched. Jay-Z has vehemently denied all the allegations, putting out this statement 2 weeks ago, writing in part, "This is a blackmail attempt." The multi-platinum artist, who was 30 at the time, now a business mogul with decades of hits to his name, with songs like Run This Town.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation, pledge your allegiance.
His attorneys have denied everything about Jane Doe's account and pointed to some alleged inconsistencies in her story.
It's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true. It's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened.
The judge writing that while Jane Doe can remain anonymous for now, she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date to allow Jay-Z's lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare for trial.
Oftentimes, when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named, and if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people decide to drop the lawsuit altogether.
Morgan Norwood, thank you. And Tony Busby, the lawyer representing Jay-Z and Diddy's accuser, says in a statement to ABC News, quote, "I will say that the coordinated and desperate efforts to attack me as counsel for alleged victims are falling flat. We won't be bullied or intimidated." And we did reach out to Jay-Z and his team, but did not get a response.
Jay-Z was seen quietly showing support for his wife, Beyonce, during her Christmas Day halftime performance at the Baltimore Ravens versus Houston Texans game. Though the rapper didn't appear on the Netflix livestream, a fan caught sight of him at Houston's NRG Stadium. There had been some speculation among fans that Beyonce's performance might be canceled following accusations against Jay-Z. The thing is, though, Beyonce has been accused of being a partner in crime for Jay-Z, not a victim.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
That
it.
belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, you know, it's funny that it's crazy you say these
Why
things.
don't nobody want to accept that bitch?
I think she's.
She went and killed the girl cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drunk. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. No snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls. Impulse control issues? I don't know.
What makes you so vocal? Like,
I'm tired.
so you just
I just want to skip to the end. All this shit is fucked up. All you niggas is weird. Go to jail and let's move on and let Generation Z make their own problems, make their own choices. These kids are living the consequences of what Gen X did and don't even know why they're doing it because everyone's lying. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter, a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more.
So, where does this leave us? Jaguar Wright has an answer.
And come forward. But until they're good for it, I'm gonna keep doing it. The Jay-Z victims are gonna be worse. They're worse because of the psychological torture that comes along with what he does. Like I said,
do you think Jay-Z is scared right now?
Oh, he's terrified. He's terrified. He's losing confidence everywhere. But the only confidence he's worried about keeping secure are those white boys that he worked for. That's his only loyalty. Not even to his wife is he loyal.
But what do you think? And just again, hypothetically, if his kids, as young as they are, asked, "Daddy, who's that man on TV getting arrested? Isn't that your friend?" What would his response be?
He wouldn't respond. He would just laugh and walk away. That's Sean Carter. He doesn't own up to anything. Ever. Gaslight you right in your face. Do it smooth. He's a sociopath. He doesn't have any real feelings or emotions. Everything is transactional. You know?
I think the only time he's really comfortable and happy in his own skin is when he's laying in the warm embrace of a man. Miss Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter just donated $100,000 to the BuzzFeed alma mater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beyonce?
Yeah. Interesting. That Mrs. Knowles, because she's now dropped the Carter, and yeah, she's
Oh wait, she dropped it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
She's just listed in Forbes, and now she's donating to her husband's arch enemy's alma mater in Houston, Texas, where all of those families consort and know each other and country club together and go to Joel Osteen's services from time to time. Yeah.
Cathy White's death is still a mystery, with questions piling up. Was she silenced to protect Jay-Z and Beyonce's empire? Is Blue Ivy really Cathy's daughter? I guess we will find out soon enough.